Your refusal to acknowledge her existence exposed what she was hiding. She expected you to fight for attention. She expected tears, arguments, and public drama. Instead, you did something she never saw coming. You acted as if she never existed. That was the part she could not understand. Everyone expected confrontation after the breakup. After all, she had made sure everyone knew she was the new woman. She posted pictures. She left comments where she knew people would eventually see them. She made little remarks that were clearly aimed at you. She wanted a reaction, but you gave her nothing. Not because you weren't hurt, you were. There were nights you cried yourself to sleep. There were mornings when getting out of bed felt like carrying a mountain on your shoulders. You had loved that man with everything you had. You had built dreams around him. Losing him felt like losing a part of yourself. But you decided something important. But you decided something important. You were not going to spend your pain proving your worth to someone who had already made up his choice. So you stayed silent. Weeks and months passed. The other woman kept trying harder. She would show up at places she knew your friend visited. She makes sure pictures of her relationship found their way to people who knew you. It almost it was almost as if she was desperately trying to send you a message. Look, trying to send you a message saying, "Look at me, see me, acknowledge me," but you never did. One afternoon, one of your friends called you. "Have you seen what she posted today?" "No," you replied calmly. There was silence in the line. You really didn't care. You looked out of the window before answering. I care about my healing. That's what my focus is on now." Your friend didn't know what to say because the truth was simple. You had stopped making your life about them. While you were building yourself, something strange was happening on the other side. The other woman wasn't happy. The relationship she thought would make her feel secure wasn't giving her the peace she expected. She constantly checked who liked his photos. She questioned every female name that appeared on his phone. She compared herself to everyone she would ever come across. The funny thing was that nobody was comparing her to any more than she could expect. One evening, during a family gathering, someone accidentally mentioned your name. The room became quiet, not because of you, because of her reaction. Her smile disappeared instantly. She became defensive. She started talking about things nobody had ever asked. "I don't know why people keep bringing her up. She's in the past." But the truth was obvious. Nobody had been talking about you until she brought you up. People exchanged looks for the first time. They noticed something. A woman who is truly secure don't spend her time competing with someone who isn't competing back. The more she tried to prove she had won, the more uncomfortable people became. What exactly had she won? A relationship filled with insecurity, a man she constantly felt she had to monitor, a victory she couldn't even enjoy. Meanwhile, your life was quietly changing. You started focusing on yourself. You took care of your health. You reconnected with old friends. You found hobbies you had forgotten. You laughed more. You became, not because everything was perfect, because you finally understood that your value was never tied to who stays or who left. One day you ran into someone who knew both of you. After talking for a few minutes, the person shook his head. "You know, she's always talking about you." You almost laughed. "Really? All the time?" You stood there for a moment, not feeling proud, not feeling angry, just surprised because you hadn't thought about her in months. That was when it finally made sense. The person who had been the trying the hardest of replacing you was still living in your shadows. Not because you put her there, because she put herself there. The attention she desperately wanted from you never came, and that silence forced her to face something she had been running from: insecurity. She wanted you to fight because of a fight would never made her feel important. She wanted your anger because it would have confirmed she mattered. She wanted you to she wanted your jealousy because it would have made her feel chosen. But your silence told a different story. It told the world that your life was bigger than the situation. It showed people that your dignity was more valuable than public drama. And in the end, that was what exposed everything: not revenge, not insults or argument, just a woman who quietly walked away and focused on healing. Sometimes the greatest victory is not proving someone wrong. Sometimes it's becoming so busy building your future that no longer have time to look back. And while she was still trying to be seen, you were learning how to live again. That is why she's that is why she became embarrassed, because the person she desperately wanted attention from had already moved on. And nothing is more painful than realizing the competition the competition existed only in your own mind. Thank you so much for watching till the end. If this is your first time of coming across my channel, please subscribe. Click on the notification button, like and share. And to my subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you so much, and see you in my next episode.